Hey FlossTube, it's Leigh from Creative Leigh on Sunday the 7th of August with FlossTube number 137. I'm back home, familiar setting. I got a bit of a hair chop this week, which was nice. Couple of inches off, which was, it was getting too long. When your handbag, I hate it when your hair gets stuck under your handbag when you're wearing it down. It's too long for me, or when you're in bed and you like turn over and you're like garroting yourself with your hair, so that's when I had to get it chopped. So yeah, so I made it back. Drive down on Wednesday was okay. The desert road had been closed on Monday? I can't remember. There had been some snow and it was closed one day. It was either Sunday or I think it was Monday because I talked to you on Sunday. But it was open again, weather warmed up and stuff, so it can't have been too heavy a dump. So that was kind of good. So I managed to get down, very tired, felt like a long drive. And yeah, went to bed early when I got home, which was really good. And Thursday, hair appointment, went to the ballet, back at the St James. So the St James Theatre is the home of the Royal New Zealand Ballet in Wellington, and when I first moved to Wellington in 1999, pretty much the first thing I did, so I moved to Wellington because I wanted to be more I want to have more access to the arts and culture and theatre and all that stuff. That's stuff I love, and it's sort of the arts capital of New Zealand, arguably Wellington. Anyway, first thing I did when I got to Wellington in 1999 was I went to a ballet at the St James Theatre, which was just down the road from where I was working at the bank, and it was a double bill, The Protecting Veil, this beautiful piece to cello music by Taverner, the Protecting Veil, and then it was a piece called Seven Deadly Sins. I just remember it was like amazing, just amazing, and I've been in love with the ballet ever since, and I've been on average, I don't know, 3 times a year since. So anyway, but the St James has been undergoing some earthquake strengthening and some renovations for the last couple of years. I think it was supposed to be a couple of years, it ended up being maybe three and a half or 4 years, I'm not sure. So this was the first ballet back at St James reopening, and oh, it's my place. I love going there, I love the theatre. I'll insert a little bit of just, I took a little bit of video from outside where they had some sort of projected advertising, I guess, for Cinderella, which is the piece we went to, and then inside the theatre itself, while we're waiting for the performance, just showing you some of the detail of the St James. It's my favourite place. So yeah, Cinderella was a new choreography by a former dancer for the Royal New Zealand Ballet, Lachlan Pryor, and it was a very fun performance. So new choreography. The score was a new score by a New Zealand composer, Claire Cohen. I think it's the second or third full-length ballet she's done, and it was a bit of a progressive, I guess they call it progressive, a non-traditional story. The music was really fab. The music was sort of a mix of all sorts of different kinds of music. It was sort of real, I guess, traditional, folky sort of rhythms and stuff. And let's put it this way, Cinderella doesn't end up with Prince Charming. Cinderella runs off with the royal messenger, and Prince Charming falls in love with Prince Dashing, a prince from the neighbouring kingdom. It was really lovely. It was fun, and the characters were amazing. The stepmother and the stepsisters were just amazing, and it was just, yeah, it was a really lovely performance. So that was really great. So that was the highlight of the week. Had a few lunches with friends. Dad's doing okay, misses me, I think. The home where my stepmother is opened up again. They'd had some COVID, so they opened up again for visitors on Thursday, I think. So Dad got a ride over with one of his sisters-in-law on Friday, and but Pam, my stepmum, has been now assessed as needing full-time, I guess, hospital care. So she's on a waiting list for for a rest home that has a hospital ward, which she's hopefully she can get near the top of the list for the rest home that is in Kawerau where my dad lives, so he would be able to, you know, wiggle down there on his scooter and visit with her. But I guess, you know, yeah, she's sleeping most of the time, she's bedridden, she isn't really eating very much, she is still drinking, so she drinks her 4 sips or whatever they're called, those fortified drinks. So but she's definitely end stage now, which is sad but also a blessing, because and at least now she doesn't appear to be visibly in pain. Like, they got her on pain meds and she's just sleeping, so she's much more peaceful than she was back in April, May. So that's the update on the family. Friend's 50th dinner on Friday. That was really cool when we played cards, and just some thoughts going out to a few friends who are having some family illness to deal with at the moment. You know, not going to say anything, but my heart goes out to you, and you have my love and support. Hope everything turns out okay. I have been watching a little bit of FlossTube. I haven't had that much time to watch too much. There are a few new channels that are new to me anyway, or quite a few new channels. So just thought I'd give a shout out to a few Kiwi channels, and I have put them down in the doobly-doo, which is, you know, good for me because I'm lazy. But I mean, Kat has been doing quite a few now. Kat. 3 of these ladies are local to me, but I have met all 4 of them through retreats and etc. So Kat Stitch, she's got a few videos up now. She's barely new, but she does a lot of stitching on Ada, say 14 count Ada, a little bit on even. We have a couple of things on higher count, but mostly 14 count Ada. Moving from Halloween to other things like a lot of prim and some other bits and pieces. Was traditionally a Halloween stitcher. Has accepted that for her, mostly smalls make sense for her and her lifestyle and her at the moment, but she does a lot of, she's finished over 50 things this year, as in fully finished, cushions and pillows and things. Then we've got, I think Judy and Nicole have both done 2 FlossTubes, so Nicole, again, another local gal, North Island Stitcher. She's got a couple of videos up. She does a lot of, quite a mix of projects really, and quite a lot of full coverage, and yeah, a lot of full coverage, but a lot of other things as well. And also Judy, they started around the same time as Judy's up in Thames. An Aussie in a Kiwi world and she's got a lot of, she's very organised, has a huge whip backlog, recently just did a whip parade, and Judy stitches a lot on Ada as well. So it's quite nice to have a few stitches that stitch on Ada, because probably a lot of channels focus on linen, and it's nice to see how projects look on Ada, and that it's a great choice if that's what suits you. But Judy does a lot of hand-dyed, she does a lot of projects on hand-dyed Ada, and she's very organised and does all those challenge groups and stuff, which is the complete opposite of what I do. I do not like being told what to do. Even if I tell myself I'm going to do that, I'll do something completely different. And then the last one, Nara, is also a local gal just down the road from me. She is Nara JB, and she's just done one little video this week, which was a little unboxing of Silks for You, but she is going to follow up with a whip parade soon. Both Nara and Nicole featured a couple of years ago on Jan Hick's channel when Jan was doing some videos with some of her subscribers who didn't do FlossTubes, so now they do FlossTube. So, and then the other one that I just found, Sally's been commenting lately, and I just realised that she does her own FlossTubes, Stitchy Sally. So hi Sally, she's in the UK and she gave me a shout out this week, which is really nice. And so I watched one of her videos, and there's quite a backlog to watch, so I'll probably have a look at some of those over the weeks to come. And she has a lot of lovely stitching as well, and she looks like Sally does quite a bit of FFOing, which is not my strong point. My to be finished pile is huge, but I'll get to that one day. Okay, stitching, what have I done? Remember I was up with Dad the other week and I said I was going to finish the winter garden. I still had, I think can't remember, I had a little bit to do, and all the snowflakes. So this is the winter garden by the Drawn Thread, which I'm stitching all on the cord for, including the linen, 32 count Smokey Pearl, all the cord for silks, and it was start number 20 of 50, started on the 1st of June, first day of winter, and finished on the 5th of August. So I just had to do on the 5th, which was Friday, because I had Friday off, all I had to do was the snowflakes on one side of the house. I've got the rest of it done. Oh, I don't have anything to hold behind it. It's going to be a bit see-through, so you're not going to get the best effect. So I just had to finish the snowflakes on the side, and they're all the snowflakes are sort of little specialty specialty stitches. So they're little various different embellished different variations of crosses. So it certainly stands out quite a lot more than I thought it was going to, but it's a lovely wee stitch, and I really, really love how the little chickadees turned out with that holly at the end, and the holly leaves were fun to stitch. Yay, so I got that finished. So I'm not giving this chart away yet, so I am going to keep the set together. So when I'm finished stitching all 4 of mine, I will then pass on my set of charts to, I've got a number of friends who are quite keen to stitch them or stitch some of the houses. So I'm going to keep them together, and I'll pass them on to, I guess, my local community. But I have a second set of charts that Sian gifted to me I think it was last year, anyway, in a rack. Sian from Australia. And I am hanging on to them. They're going to be part of a giveaway when I get to 1,000 subscribers, which I'm not there yet. So when I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll have a really nice giveaway, which will include a second bunch. So there'll be a bunch of those charts will stay within my local community. The one set and the other set will go to a subscriber as part of my giveaway. So that's just something to look forward to when I get to 1,000. So yeah, still a little way off, but I've had probably about 90, no, maybe about, I think I've had like about 40 join in the last couple of weeks, which has been really nice. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you like it. I then had, so I wanted to finish that before I started my start for the week. So I didn't start this until the 5th of August, so in the evening, which was 1816 Vierlande Sampler, a reproduction sampler by Lisa Harris. You find in the Sampler and Antique Needlework magazine. Summer starts with summer 2015, and then there's, I think, 3 parts. That's what it looks like. I printed off a new picture to show you. This is the antique. So the antique has lots, you can tell by the picture there was a bit of wear on it, and I think that the chart has been charted. Some of the wear has been charted to where it was worn like around the border, but some of the other motifs either were not symmetrical or they haven't recharted where they were worn. I'm using a little bit of creative license to make some of the motifs a bit more symmetrical when I stitch it. Oh, so I'm stitching this on 45 count limestone linen from Country Stitch, and I'm using Weeks Dye Works quilting cotton in 1233 Cocoa. And then I do have a silk, a Gutermann silk. There's a little tiny bit of red on the design, so when I get to that I'll use the Gutermann silk that I've got just from my stash. So I got a little bit of a start. I sort of just stitched this on so Friday afternoon, because I went out for dinner, so Friday afternoon, and then so just a wee start down the bottom left hand corner, a little bit of the border. I'll carry on, do a little bit of border as I go. The bottom bit that's empty below that sort of circular motif has initials, and I don't know how I'm going to personalise this later, so I'll just leave all of the initials and dates until the end, and then I'll come back and decide what I'm going to do. Like I might do this for some family, I'm not sure. So yeah, stitches are coming out really nice. Not too bad stitching on the 45. I am using reading glasses on top, so equivalent of 1.75 magnification, and then the light, and it's pretty visible. The quilting cotton's nice to stitch with. It doesn't shred or anything, doesn't really get fluffy, so it's yeah, it's quite pleasant to stitch on. Gives a really nice coverage on 45. It looks, the stitches are nice and full, but they're not too puffy, so it's not tight. They're not tight. It's just a really nice thick coverage. Last night I pulled out Mini Bouquet Sampler from Jeannette Douglas Designs, a freebie from her website, because the August chart had been released, which is called Tomatoes or something, Bouquet of Tomatoes. And again, using all my own threads and stuff. This is on 40 count Haystack from Country Stitch, stitching from stash. This was a start back in the 4th of January, so not part of my 50 at 50. And I just pulled some random stuff from my stash, and I got the little tomatoes done. They're so cute. So yeah, 7, 8 down, 4 to go. And then, because that didn't take very long at all to do that, I last night, so I guess after dinner, thought, well, I might as well stitch on something else. So I pulled out my Miss Bingley's library. Last time you saw this, I had everything from the roof down done except for the white. I just had to do the white house. So this is on 36 count neutral sampler from Victoria Motto Sampler Shop, using a partial conversion. It was start number 26 of 50, and I finished the house. Lots of back and forward white. I have 2 skeins of whitewash. I had 2 partial skeins of whitewash, which is the called for the house. So what I did is, and they're slightly different, so what I did is I just pulled a length from each of the 2 skeins, and I just went back and forward. And I just stitched whole rows, but I just went with, 1 skein. So there's a little bit of a slight amount of variegation, but it's not stripy. One of them was slightly creamier than the other, so yeah, really happy with that. So all I've got to do is everything above the roof. So the smoke, the bird, stack of books, 2 stacks of books, Miss Bingley, and the pot. So yeah, that won't take much to finish at all. But yeah, I was really happy to get that house done. So that's my stitching. So a couple of things that came in. My Rainbow Club arrived while I was away, which was this month. I got a fat quarter of 35 count Toy Toy. So I've used Toy Toy before. I've used 40 count Toy Toy from Country Stitch for my last year's Modern Folk embroidery, the Fruits of Plenty, which I stitched with the orangey thread. And so I just ordered a 35 count just to have in my stash. I don't have plans for this yet, although I've got some ideas. And then I also got the 10 final skeins for kitting up Rosewood Manor Sunrise. So that included 3 skeins of Dutch Iris, 3 skeins of Beachcomber. This one's very interesting. This is the most varied of all the colours in this design, Beachcomber. 2 skeins of Busy Lizzie, which has got a bit tangled, but that's right. And 2 skeins of Ultraviolet. So that is Rosewood Manor Sunrise is now fully kitted. I won't, at this stage I'm not starting that this year. It's not one of my 50, but I will definitely, it's definitely going in the mix for next year. I have more threads coming over the next few months from Catherine as part of my just send me some every month. So it will continue to kit up Sunset, and there's a couple of other charts that I've got threads coming for, which I don't remember what they are, but they're written down in the spreadsheet. And then I also purchase off of the Kiwi Stash Unload, or whatever it's called, Recycled, Upcycled New Zealand. I don't even know which. One of the Facebook groups in New Zealand. Maureen was getting rid of this, so I snapped it up and just to have it, and it was a little bit cheaper than buying it new. So it has some lovely, excuse me, has some lovely reproduction stuff in it. In particular, I love this little needle, what's it called? A pin roll, with the bird. I don't know what kind of bird you'd call it, with that bird. It's really cute, and some of the red samplers in here are just lovely. Oh, this one's really lovely. This is called A Bit of Spring. I guess this isn't like a new book or anything. Lots of people would have seen it. I really like this. I like how it's sort of a red sampler, but it's different. The different colours, so that's really pretty. That won't take very long to stitch. I think it's got, what is it called for? Crikey, it's actually got a lot of colours in it. It's got the big 3, Classic Colourworks, Gentle Arts and Weeks. What colours have we got here? Like Tennessee red clay, used brick, baked apple, brick. I have no idea. Oh, Schneckly, DMC 680s, that must be a brown. And the birds, I guess. The little S's in the bird, no? Yeah, it's a little bit, oh God, it's hardly anything. It's like 4 stitches. Yeah, this is why I always look at charts, because there's a colour that's called for, right? And if you're on a budget and you want, like kitting up from stat, if you want to kit up a project as called for, and you look at a chart and you go, the symbol S is used, there are 2 little birds and they have 4 little X crosses on their chests. and that is the only place in this chart that that symbol is called for, I'm going to use 680 DMC. I'm not buying a whole skein of Weeks Dye Works to stitch 8 little, like you're not going to get any kind of variegation in 4 stitches. So that's what I do. I have a wee look at the chart and go, where am I using that colour? But yeah, it's kind of like, where is old purple paint used? I can't even see with it. Oh, similarly, it calls for old purple paint from Gentle Arts, and that's the solid black box, you know, the solid square symbol. Again, 5 stitches on the collar of each of the birds. Again, you're not gonna get any kind of, no, I won't be. DMC 3860 will be perfectly fine. Anyway, I really like this, some lovely little red samplers, which are great for using up some stash and some offcuts and things. Sidonie's Petit Chien, little dog. I don't know where the little dog is. Oh, it's there. It's called Sidonie's Petit Chien, and the little dog is down there. So that's a nice little, yeah, anyway. You've also, oh, I love this one. I showed this to my friend yesterday. I had cup of tea with a friend who has recently had some surgery, and she liked that one. I really like that one too. The little blocks of colour down the bottom are just sort of fun. That's called Le Poulet. Oh yeah, there's a chicken down there. That's the original. So they do a great job of recharting what is quite a worn sample. Anyway, those are some of the ones that I like. There's a few others in there. I don't know. I don't have a lot of Blackbird, but now I've got 3 of those books, which is really cool. What else going on? Right, so I've got another start. I will start something today. Even though I only started that other one on Friday, I'm still, get back on track. Start number 30. Can you believe we're 3/5 in? I want something fun and quick and blingy, and for me an Aura Corbett is fun and quick and blingy. So I've got 2 more of the Bewitching Pixies. I started and finished, which one did I start and finish? Anna, earlier this year. She was one of my 50 at 50, and I am not going to, and I've also got Gigi and Ava. I'm not starting Gigi yet. I'm going to be starting Gigi with Judith when Judith's ready to start Gigi. So Gigi will be done last. I should go that way, looking at each other, like backwards. So she'll go back in the bag, but I'm going to start and probably finish Ava. And they're all called for except the fabric. The fabric is 32 count, what's it called? 32 count antique. This is a white art fabric. I forgot what it's called. It's written down on the card, but I don't have the card in this. This card's in my finished pile. I need to go and grab the card. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. Antique Country Mocha, that's what it's called. It's white art. So yeah, that's what I'm stitching all 3 of them on, and I really love how Anna came out. So I'm looking forward to, that's Gigi. So Gigi can wait. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing her, and I've got all the beads and things, so that will be a nice start. I think that Ava's the bigger of the 3 that I've got to stitch. So yeah, I've got my fabric all ready to go, and looking forward to doing that. So yeah, that will be my next, that's start number 30 of 50, starting today. I think that's it. It's been been nice. I was going to say nice not being at work, although I ended up working quite a bit on Friday, a little bit on Thursday while I was at the hairdresser. There's just been a couple of issues at work that we couldn't really anticipate, and then challenges with people being away, and I pulled a developer off one project to put him on another one just to help some customers get something resolved. So it took a bit of coordination, and I think about 3 o'clock on Friday they got the issue resolved, which was really nice. So I don't know, I probably did like close to a day's worth of work last week just by being on leave, but it'll come out in the wash. It's the kind of job I'm in. It's okay. So I'm going to enjoy my Monday and Tuesday that is off, and hopefully actually have break. I've started doing a little bit of sort your life out, Leigh. I've got my craft room's a mess. I'm doing a bit of a reorganise. There's some things that I don't reach for very often that have prime location, so I'm moving them to the I still want them, I'm still going to use them, but not very often, so I'm getting them into the drawers that are at the bottom, and then pulling some stuff out that I reach for and use really often to be like in my Rascog, so the punches and various tools that I use quite often I'm going to have in my Rascog, so I can pull that over to different desks and to different areas, and make that a little bit more accessible. And yeah, I've just got a few drawers and things to go through, things that I haven't used in 4 years. It's nearly 4 years since I moved into this house, and it's a couple of drawers that just have things in them, and I never use anything in those drawers, so I need to go through and work out what needs to be donated and what needs to be donated, recycled and chucked away. I don't want to throw things away that can be donated or recycled, but I need to do that. So that's sort of my task for the next couple of days. Bit of weeding, bit of stitching, bit of reading, bit of chilling, couple of lunches, and just enjoy having some me time over the next couple of days. Thanks for coming along and watching my YouTube, my FlossTube. I really appreciate it. Don't forget, hit subscribe, like the video, and help me get to 1,000 so that I can have a lovely giveaway and give back to the community. Appreciate you coming along. I love the comments, most of them anyway. There's been a couple of randos recently that were odd, but anyway, that's fine. Mostly you're all lovely. Be safe, find joy in your stitching, and don't stress about it. It's just X's in fabric. It's not that big a deal. Until next time, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.